Hello YouTube friends. This little video is all about apples. I have 4 apple trees in the garden. They're all eating apples. This one here is called James Grieve. Of all 4 of them, this is the one that drops its fruit most easily, most readily, which is annoying because the fruit then spoils. So I spent the first part of this apple collection just picking up all these fallen apples, these windfalls. There were none of them edible, but I have a friend who keeps pigs, and I'll bag them all up and take them to Louise, and she can give them to her pigs. So I'd picked up a lot of apples. In fact, there's still a huge amount more to pick. And then I started picking the apples off the tree. Useful container there in my skirt. Any that were a bit dodgy went into the pig's bucket, and then I was collecting the ones I could reach. Now, every third apple I picked, one of them fell off. This one, it hardly holds onto its apples. They just drop onto the floor. And they're also not a terribly nice apple, I have to say. They're not a nice eater, and they do go to mush if you cook them. But they're great for things like chutney. Yeah, pretty much chutney. So I collected them all in my skirt, just put them into one of the baskets that I had, and then carried on collecting all the low-hanging fruit. Easiest to pick, isn't it, the low-hanging fruit? So then I got a ladder. I'm going to tell you now, I'm fine on the ladder, okay? I know it looks really dodgy. I'm not great on ladders, but I did really well. I didn't fall off or anything. I had a bit of an adventure. And I barely got any higher. Look, I'm not that much taller, really. Anyway, I got some more of the apples that way into my basket. Yeah, picking apples. A little bit higher there. I don't like ladders. I really don't. No. Hi, everyone. But I did fine, and as you see, when I pull on the apples like that, every now and then one of them does fall off onto the ground, a good apple. But there were plenty, so I didn't really mind too much. There's one going. Oh, 2. Bother. It's been an incredibly good crop this year. I might try and find the little video of Mark pruning these apple trees and put it in a little iCard up in the top right-hand corner, because I'm getting quite good at doing that now. So I reached all the apples I could. But then I had a bit of a memory of, I'll show you in a minute. I suddenly remembered I've got a much better ladder. So to hell with that ladder. Let's go and get the fruit picking ladder. I'd forgotten I had this. This is a ladder specifically for picking fruit. It's got a very wide base, and so you're much more stable when you're on it. And so I think perhaps picking apples or climbing a ladder in a skirt's not a very good idea, is it? So I could get further up now and get more of the apples. What I've done with these apples, I'll show you at the end, but I've also put 3 huge boxes of them onto my honesty box outside under the wood store for people to help themselves to. And people who come to get eggs are just taking apples away with them as well, which is nice. Because everyone's got spare apples at this time of year. So 2 of the 4 trees then are a variety called Discovery, and they're my favourite. They're an eating apple, and they're crisp, and the flesh is nice and firm. I really like these apples, and none of them get very high, so I could pick all of these. I've got gloves on because some of them had been eaten by wasps, and there were still a few wasps hanging around. And also, I've got nettles down below there, so I was pretty well protected. I've got a bucket again underneath where you can't quite see, and I'm putting any bruised fruit or any partially eaten by wasps fruit into the bucket for Louise's pigs. Yeah, so the Discoveries have been the best and my favourites. Very good. So what am I going to do with all these apples then? Very nice, the Discoveries. So I have a dehydrator. If you're familiar with these, you'll know, there they all are. That's the James Grieves at the front, the Discoveries at the back. And this dehydrator, it's a very simple piece of kit. You can slice fruit and put it in a very low oven, but this is made for the purpose. You dip the apple slices into the lemon water that's underneath there in the pink pot, and then slice them and lay them onto these trays. Then I think there were 8 trays, and I stacked them 8 high, and then they go onto the base with the lid on, and it sends a very gentle current of warm air through, which dries them all off. 24 hours or so they take to dry. Now, obviously, these aren't the same ones, because I decided then that I would do apple rings as well. So these are them dried now. And the apple slices, fantastic, they were dry as well. And so I've got all these apple slices and rings dried, and I'll just take a handful with me when I go to pottery or when I go on a car journey or something. Here they all are. I got 6 jars, and with some of the James Grieves I made apple chutney, which I need to just find some more lids for. And then in this corner of the kitchen I'm making cider vinegar. I checked out a few YouTubes about how to do that, and it says keep it in the dark. So I've covered it in a tea towel. So that's what I did with the apples. I did that last weekend. So it's nice to look at that again. I was fine on the ladder. There's still another tree. It's the apple's called a Russet. I'm not so keen on Russet apples. The flesh is really firm. But they'd still be good for making chutneys or pies or whatever. With the James Grieve apples, I made some stewed apple, a big pan of stewed apple, and made that into fruit leathers in the dryer, little pieces of very concentrated apple. So it's all about the apples at the moment. And I'm just going to set to and make some more apple chutney, because I ran out of sugar, so I had to get some more sugar yesterday. I had quite a day yesterday. It was a nice day, Saturday, but I decided I needed more jars and bottles because I'm going to make the elderberry syrup soon, and so I needed some more flip-top bottles to put the syrup in. And so for some stupid reason, I decided on a Saturday to drive to IKEA. It's about, I don't know, 30 miles away. And I thought, yeah, I'll go to IKEA and I'll go and buy all the jars and things that I need. Well, everybody else decided to go to IKEA yesterday, and I got stuck in traffic, and I got snail's pace going round the store, and I bought things I didn't really want. You know what you do when you're in IKEA, bag clips and various things you don't really need. I do that every time I go. But I did get the flip-top jars and bottles for the next part of the processing I'm doing. But what it reminded me was that it's a total mistake to drive away from this place. I should just stay here and order stuff online. That's what I often do. Sometimes you can make a mistake ordering stuff online, but sometimes I do that, and the stuff gets delivered to my door and it's perfectly fine. But no, it was a funny old day yesterday, but I stopped by the supermarket and bought a load more sugar and raisins so that I can make some more chutney. So I'm going to do that now. Anyway, whatever you're doing today, I hope it's a good one. It's raining here today, and so it's a good day for chopping apples and making chutney and storing all of that for the winter. So that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, I hope your Sunday is pleasant. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.